ever since March the 12th, when AudioBoo seeped out of the Apple Store after 2 failed attempts. The first time for having the wrong button, which we fixed. The second time for producing an app that allowed obscene content to be produced. Because the tester said shit, 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 so we had so we had to put moderation on for a week, which was excruciating because we had to listen to every boo in the studio. We actually hooked up our iTunes feed in the office so that every time a boo was played, the music faded down and we listened to the boo. It was the most amazing, bizarre radio experience. Anyway, we took that off for 2 weeks, and God knows what you've all been chatting about. We've been chatting about a lot. And it got so mad that we couldn't keep, it was all boos, there was no music left whatsoever. So it's going to be really quick. I'd first quite like to introduce members of the AudioBoo team because I think they've done an amazing job in not only producing a brilliant app, but a website that probably needs improvement. So first, I would like to pick out Jonathan Delstrova, who's here. So Jonathan is our CTO, who used to work on missile support systems for warships. But left that to design an application some of you might know called Coverflow, which he later sold to Apple Inc. And then rather stupidly came to work with us. But John's done a huge amount of work on the iPhone app and the whole Rails infrastructure behind the website, so that's been brilliant. I'd then like to introduce Steve Hooley in the yellow. Steve is one of the only motion graphic designers who's actually gone to code. Kind of gone to seed in a way, I suppose. So, Steve had a very successful career with a bunch of motion graphics companies doing TV idents, but he fell in love with code so much that he now, I call him our sweeper. He kind of alternates between UI work and coding up bizarre additions to the AudioBoo service, which kind of works sometimes. So that's Steve. Then we've got Tom. Now Tom does crazy stuff like take iPhones apart and build virtualized servers and stuff I don't really understand, but his main claim to fame, even though he's done a lot more, he's the man that finished the API last week. And that's really important to us because we just don't want to be an iPhone app. In fact, I often call our iPhone app kind of proof of concept. We want to be in as many mobile devices and as many mobile platforms as possible, and we want other people to build them for us. So hence the API. We want to have interest from MobiPig, and an S60 and a Nokia client called Gravity. So we're hoping they will integrate AudioBoo into them in the coming weeks. As part of that, and I'm kind of transgressing from talking about people, but we'll be releasing the frameworks for our iPhone app. So that means that anyone who's got their own iPhone app will be able to integrate AudioBoo into them. That I call a copy or paste job. John would probably disagree, but again, the aim is to get AudioBoo on as many platforms, as many devices as possible. Then we have, who else we got? Nick. Where's Nick? Nick Hancock's over here. Nick's just joined as our COO, as we try and make a proper company out of this. Nick's got a varied background, mainly in finance, for a couple of large corporates. He's kind of been on a mobile entrepreneur since 2003, and in all the areas that I'm really, really crap at, in terms of detail and negotiation, and not getting pissed off at people. Nick is my opposite, so I think we're a really good team, so we're really happy to have Nick on board. AudioBoo at the minute is owned by a company called Best Before Media, which does lots of clever stuff with video and stuff. Some of the examples you can see out there. And there's a couple of team members from there, which I'd quite like to point out. First is Jonathan Hammond. Jonathan Hammond at the back. Jonathan does the most amazing stuff with real-time visual graphics, and if you're interested in that at all, he's done an amazing touchscreen app which is in the far corner, which you should really take a look at. I think it's an amazing piece of work. I'm really pleased with it, but you can't have a pay rise. Yet. Also Bartos. Hey, Bart's in the corner as well. Bart was to knock out iPhone apps in the time it takes me to make a cup of tea. I think there's an example iPhone app out there, is there? Yeah, so there's a really good app that we're doing for Robert Llewellyn, wherever he is. There he is, down there. I hope it's fine saying that. Which combines tweets and boos and video and news and stuff. It's fantastic. If anyone wants one, come and see me. There's no one else, is there? Oh! I think that probably the biggest round of applause for not only organising this event, but being our evangelist, being our business strategist, working our arse into the ground is Karen Barber. If Karen gets you in her sights, she will slowly drag you into the web that is AudioBoo. She's just fantastic. She is the hardest worker, the hardest networker, and it's actually a privilege to have her on board, so thank you.
Right.
So like I said, there's food afterwards. There's a couple of things. We're going to have a couple of workshops which you don't have to attend if it sounds really boring. One on the API. If there's any development people here, Tom's going to lead a session about what all that stuff means. There's also another session called Next Steps, so which I'll be leading, which is really asking you lot what we should do next with AudioBoo. We've got a few ideas. We probably think that the AudioBoo community's got much better ideas than us. So anyone wants to come to that, that is in the...
That's here. On
that's in this room apparently.
yeah. There's just steps and we've got some feet.
So that's all about looking forward. I'm going to show you a couple of things which are about looking back, about AudioBoo 6 months ago, and really what started AudioBoo before that. So I've got a short video of how the app looked like in October, November, which you might find interesting. It's come on a bit. If you thought the website was bad now.
Technology company, right?
Yeah, we're talking to you now. And that's the playback. So I think even though we've got a long way to go, we've come a long way. The other thing was, I just wanted to talk about was the impetus behind the AudioBoo idea, which starts much further back. It really starts with my mum dying in March 2008, and she was a poet. And when she found out she was dying, she wrote this poem called When Poets Die. And the key thing for me with this was the top line. The poets die, still deep with words. And the idea that so much audio gets lost is important. And you can see that from our people. We've had fathers after the birth of their first child booing. We've had 12-year-olds talking about the divorce of their parents. We've had chefs doing 2-minute recipes, photographers doing 1-minute photo tips. there's a huge variety of AudioBoo there which traditional media companies would not be interested in. You know, it's too low rating, it's not interested, it's not edited, whatever it is. And we think it's interesting. And we look to the AudioBoo community really to create that content for us forever. And our role going forward is very much as a creator of content, making it searchable, making it findable, discoverable, spreadable, whatever, while you continue the good work. So I'd quite like to say to you, you know, thanks very much for all the AudioBoos here. I think the community on AudioBoo is utterly amazing, and you know, together let's make it grow even bigger. So thank you very much. Before we have the food, I'd like a couple of people